Hello, here's lesson 123. So the first one, complete the multiplication algorithm, is talking about this, that on mine is stuck up there. So this looks slightly different than maybe the way that you've been multiplying, but I'll show you how it does match up with some things that we've done. So we've got 72 times 5 something, so probably 50 something. So over here I am going to set up an area model, 72 times 50, and we don't know what that is yet. But I can do part of this area model. So 50 times 70 is 3,500. Oh, and I do see that there's 3,500 right there. And let me see, 50 times 2 is 100. Now I've got, there's a 70 here and a 2. There's a 70 and a 2. So those are probably the two numbers that are missing in my area model. So what I'm thinking is 2 times 1 is 2, and 70 times 1 is 70. So that would fill out my model and let me know what goes in those missing boxes, right? So we decided that there was a 1 going with that 50. And we decided that there's 100 going right here. So what's happened here is that 2 is the 2 times 1, which you can see in the area model, and it's 2 times 1 right there. And then we have the 1 here times the 7, which is really a 70, which over on the area model, it's the 1 times the 70 is 70. So 1 times 70. The 100 is this 5, which is really a 50, times the 2, which we see here. 50 times the 2 is 100. 50 times 2 is the 100. And the 3,500 was the 50 times the 70. The 50 times the 70 is right here, and it's right here. Makes that 3,500. So the last part of this is we need to add it all up and see what the total is. And I can either add it from the area model or add it from this algorithm over here. Let me see, 2 and 0 and 0 and 0 is 2. 7 and 0 and 0 is 7. 6, 3. So it looks like we have 3,672. Number 2, Mackle is 31 years and 4 months old. How many months old is Mackle? How many months old? So what we need to know is that there are 12 months in a year. In 1 year. So he's been alive 31 years. So 31 years. And we are going to multiply that by the 12 months in every one of those 31 years. 10 times 30 is 300. 10 times 1 is 10. 30 times 2 is 60. And 2 times 1 is 2. We add all that up, and we get, let's see, 310, 62, 372. So 372 months in 31 years. And then we have those extra 4 months old plus 4 more months makes 376. So 376 months old. Number 3, we have a number line, and we have to plot point J at 7.59, and 0.59 is kind of hard to find on here. I'm going to zoom in so we can look at it a little more closely. First, let's take a look. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 jumps, and 5 jumps doesn't translate to decimals very well. But if we had 10 jumps, once we have tenths, then we can do decimals, right? So when we have 10 little jumps here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now we know these are tenths. So this first tick mark that I made is 7.1. The next big tick mark they made is 7 and 2/10. So 7 and 1/10, 7 and 2/10. This would be 7 and 3/10, 7 and 4/10, 7 and 5/10, 7 and 6/10. 7 and 6/10 is important. Here we need to remember that 6/10 is the same as 60 hundredths, and 59 hundredths is almost a 69 hundredths. So we need to estimate back here 1/100th. So we'll say J is right there. It is just before we get to 7 and 6/10. Number 4, a group of 59 Sasquatch hunters. 59 Sasquatch hunters are making traps, and each hunter makes 5 traps, and each trap is going to cost $12. How much will they have spent on traps? So we've got 59 hunters, and every one of them makes 5 traps, and they each cost $12. So we have to multiply 59 times 5 times 12. And it doesn't matter what order you do a string of multiplication like this. I noticed right away that 5 times 12 is 60, and 60 is going to be easier to multiply than some of these other numbers. So let's do 50. I'll make that red so it matches. 59 times 60. And now I can do a small little box. I don't have to worry about another layer. 60 times 50, 6 times 5 is 30. And then I've got to place the 2 zeros for here. 6 times 9 is 54, and I've just got the 1 0 from the 60. Add up my 3,000 plus my 540. That gives me 3,540. They are spending a lot of money to find these Sasquatch. $3,540. Last one, Steve Zakuati read Your Mama is a Llama to his daughter 252 times over the course of 1 year. If Steve read Your Mama is a Llama an equal number of times each month, how many times did he read the story each month? This is where we need to recall that there are 12 months in a year. So 252 times over the course of the year, the same number for each month, and we want to know how many times each month. So we are looking at how many 12s are in 252. Now when I look at this, I see the 12 and I see the 25, and it makes me think 2 times 12 is 24. I'm going to actually want this to be a 20, so I have 240. 20 times 12 is 240. Take that away, and I get 12 left. I only need one more 12 to get those last 12. So 21 looks like he is reading this story 21 times per month. 21 times per month. There's lesson 123.